Okay. We are recording. Thank you so much for jumping on. We have a special guest. I was watching a call of Ashley's, and I was like, I need to get her on a call with us because she has had a shift in mindset and affirmations that has completely just transformed her business and helped her explode. She's currently 46 months in SC. She's 5-star in her first business center, 1-star in her second, and her husband is 1-star qualifying as well. And she is almost to her 4-year anniversary. So make sure you have your notebook ready to go. But I have been stalking her on Instagram because she's just so full of energy, and I'm so excited for you to just get a little taste. So Ashley, take it over.
So excited. Okay, and I'm like sitting here looking at my success systems tracker, and I'm like, I haven't talked about a product yet, and I'm like drinking my shake. I gotta hurry and do a boomerang like right now. Okay, so okay, those stats always like blow my mind because part of me is like, I am not that person. Like, and it's so freaking annoying because you always hear it that coaches are like, I'm just like you. And I'm like, BS, no, you're not. But like, I was the coach who hit Success Club on the last day of the month because they were calling family. I was the coach who was barely holding on to Diamond because I was calling my sister 20 minutes before the deadline on a Wednesday night, asking her to sign up because I didn't have enough active coaches on my left leg. I was the coach who was, when everything pivoted, was a 2-star. But in reality, my husband was a Diamond, which, big whoop. We all know how much work he put into that. And then my sister was a Diamond. And my sister had a bigger team than me. She had more coaches than me. She hit higher Success Club numbers than me. She had more emeralds than me, whatever. So those are my 2 Diamonds. Those were my only emeralds. I didn't have a single other emerald underneath me. And then under my husband, he had my mom, that we all know how hard my mom must have worked for emerald. And then I had a girl who signed her mom and her husband and stuck around long enough for us to officially go 2-star, and then she quit. And that was my whole organization. My income was going the wrong direction, but on paper, I've been doing this for over 2 years, and I'm at Success Club 26 months in a row, and I'm a 2-star. And on paper, I was doing the right things. But if you looked at my income, if you looked at my amount of builders, if you looked at my team's Success Club boards, if you looked at my Success Club, if you looked at my elite points, if you looked at any of those things, I was like the definition of a house of cards. And I felt like everything in my business was falling apart. I had no joy. I had no fulfillment. Because if you're hitting Success Club on the last day of the month, Success Club is not fun. It is not fulfilling. It is stressful. And if you're barely holding on to stuff because you're bribing everyone that you'll buy them half their product if they'll just stay active because you need everyone, like, you're not making any money. You're not moving your business forward, and there's no fulfillment because you're not getting like coaches messaging you, telling you like, oh my gosh, I hit my first $1,000 whatever. Like, I wasn't even making $1,000. Like, nothing was happening. And but I hit 2-star. And because I hit 2-star, my upline's upline decided to do a downline wide retreat. So my upline is Jalen Barnes, and that's not her name now, Jalen Lovell. And I love her. She's a 3-time elite. She's a 10-star. Like, she knows what she's doing. She hit elite her first year. She's a freak of nature. And then her upline is Micah Folsom, who, if you live under a rock or if you're brand new, is a double superstar, has never finished lower than number 15, has finished in the top 10, and then has finished 3 years consecutively as number 11, hit the Million Club 2 years into the business. She knows what she's doing. And so Micah decided to open her retreat to her whole downline. But you had to rank advance, 1 past your lifetime. And I was a 1-star. And because I technically hit 2-star, I got invited to this retreat. But I felt so fake, so like undeserving to go to this retreat. And I almost didn't go. I was 5-ish days away from giving birth. And so I'm like 39 and a half weeks pregnant, literally. I feel like the line from the Grinch every time I say that, but like I was 39 and a half weeks pregnant. And I was like so done with life and was so stressed about transitioning from 1 to 2 and maybe I shouldn't go to the retreat. And this is our last weekend as a family of 3. Like, should I really sacrifice this for this retreat that I didn't even really earn because I totally faked my way there? And my husband, thank the Lord, was like, no, I really think you should go because who knows when you're going to get another like girls weekend without Emma with you. I really think you should go. And I'm getting chills. Just like, I don't even want to think about what my life would be like if I hadn't gone to that retreat. So the day before the retreat, I was still like back and forth, still whatever. And I was so like back and forth that I started having contractions because stress leads to contractions. Who would have thought? And so I called my midwife and was like, what do I do? And I mean, legally, they can't be like, oh, you're just stressed. So she's like, well, I guess you should go in and get checked. And Jaylyn was like, dude, don't waste your money. I can tell by how you're talking, you're not in labor. Do not go to the hospital. And I was like, I'm not coming to the retreat. I got to go to the hospital. I'm having my baby. And she was like, dude, you're such an idiot. And I called my husband, who was in Idaho. I live in Utah, working. He did construction. So he's in another state, had spent the entire summer away, spent the entire summer FaceTiming our then 3-year-old. And I slept next to a loaded gun because he was gone, but he made incredible money and had phenomenal insurance. And because we were about to have a baby, those are 2 really, really important things. And so we were sucking it up and making it work. I wasn't happy, but Beachbody's not working. I don't have any coaches, so like we don't have a choice. So I call him and I'm like, I called the midwife. She says, I need to go in. You need to come home. And he was like, Ash, I can't. Like, they know you're getting induced next week. They know you're about to be done. We have to finish this road because they can't do it without me. I can't come home. And I was like, what? What? And he was like, I'm sorry. I stall. And I'm like, what do you want me to do? Like, what does that even mean? So I like had a meltdown. Get off the phone. I can't get my mom to answer. I want my mom to take my kid, but my mom's got to drive me. So I'm trying to call my best friend. She won't answer the phone. And so I'm like, I don't know what to do with my kid. And I'm like bawling, absolutely having a come apart. And I remember like in that moment, I remember it so vividly being like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I'm going to figure out what I'm doing wrong in this business because I've got to bring him home. He is going to miss the birth of our child because of this stupid job that makes it so he's missing our kids grow up. He has missed my pregnancy, and I had a freaking terrible pregnancy. I was sicker than a dog and slept till noon every freaking day. And like our kid thankfully didn't like play with knives because she would like wake up and get herself a snack of Doritos and come lay in my bed till I decided to wake up at noon. Like it was terrible. And like that was our life because he was in another state. I'm so glad you guys think it's so entertaining because seriously, I was like such a hot mess. So it was so bad. It was so bad. So I'm like, I am done. I am done. Something has got to change. Something is going to change. And he calls me and he's like, I'm totally kidding. We're like 20 minutes away. I was trying to surprise you and whatever. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I've never been so grateful you lied to me in my entire life. Like, so he came, we went to the hospital, wasn't really in labor. And he was like, you got to go to this retreat. That I went to this retreat, like with that burning feeling that for those couple minutes that I thought he was going to miss it, I was like clinging to that feeling with my whole soul because I knew something needed to change. And I knew Beachbody was this gold mine. My upline had just hit the $250,000 mark. Micah makes like $10 million a breath. And so I was like, I know this makes money. And I know I have access to successful people. If I can just figure out what the freak I am doing wrong, then maybe this could work. Like for me, because it's working for them, what am I not doing that they are? What is going on? So I went to the retreat And I discovered a few things, and I don't have any notes in front of me, so we're just going to totally go off the cuff on this, on the things that I remember, because I've done this call like 1,000 times, but it always comes out a little bit different. Okay, so things that changed. Obviously, number one, I knew what my why was, and it was not like a, and I did, if you have not looked up anything, if you need more on this why thing, if you're like, but I don't, like, your why sounds great, like, yeah, that would be my why too, but like, I don't have that, my life doesn't suck, and my husband loves his job, or like, I don't have, if you don't have that like thing, go to Moira Kusaba's YouTube. She's been in the top 10 before, killer Beachbody coach. She is the one who made this Rise Up Journal. Oh my gosh, I just got this yesterday, and this is going to be referenced like 50 times on the call, so get ready. But because she talks all about how to find your vision. So you have to, it's not even that you need a why, you need a vision. You need to know where this is taking you, and somewhere that is worth pushing, because you need some urgency, you need some focus, you need something that is going to make you like, dude, I don't care that you said no, I'm going to go invite 20 more people, because I have got to find someone who will say yes, and that will make you show up, that will make you like put down the cookie because you're trying to do 21 Day Fix Extreme Perfect, that will make you push play when it's 9 o'clock at night and you don't want to, that will make you do your invites, that will make you remember to get on the national wake up call because you missed it this week. Like, you need like something that is going to shove you, that is urgent, that is a vision. So mine was bringing my husband home, and we hit it like 4 months later. We hit it so fast. Second CBCs help a lot, because like I said, when this shift happened, I was officially 2-star. So I got my second CBC, and as everything exploded, I'll talk more about some of the stuff I did. I was able to put everything in my second. So my volume skyrocketed, and my Success Club numbers skyrocketed, which means my income skyrocketed. So I was able to bring my husband home in just a couple months. And he got another job that's local, and he's downstairs with the kids right now. I sleep next to him. I wake up next to him. I go to bed next to him. He is here to help me with the kids when we, like, I do one night call a month that he knows that's his time with the kids, but he's here for dinner. He's here for baths and bedtime, and he's here. And it was because I shoved. So then we hit the point that I was like, okay, we brought you home. Now what? Like, I don't have like a big why anymore. I don't have like a big whatever. Now what? So it took me 2 months to find it, and my business totally went from whoop to, because I didn't have a vision. I didn't have a push. I didn't have a thing anymore. So then it was actually my then 4-year-old. It's her idea that we went to Disneyland for my mom's 50th birthday in March. My mom paid for all of it, and it was amazing. I hadn't been to Disneyland in like 20 years. My daughter had never been. My husband hadn't been in like 20, 25 years. It was amazing. And my daughter was like, Mom, when can we come back? And I was like, I have no idea. Like, we just brought Dad home, and we are like living off Beachbody. We do not have money for Disneyland. And she was like, it would be so fun if we came for my birthday, because you know how all the fun stuff they did for Grammy for her birthday? What if we came for my birthday? And I'm like, oh my gosh, kid, do you know how much Disneyland costs? Like, so I started pulling the numbers, and I'm like, dude, there are so many other things we could do with this money. Like, I don't know. And then I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. I realized, wait a minute. Casey's birthday is the second week in January. The second week in January is when they call to tell coaches they've hit elite. What if they called to tell us we hit elite and we're in Disneyland? And I have these like rose gold ears, and the Disney castle's behind me, and it's her birthday, and we paid for Disneyland because my team hit elite, because my income has climbed that much, that the Beachbody paid for us to go to Disneyland. What if that happened? And I woke up every day and visualized that whole thing. I pictured the hotel. I pictured the ears, the castle, the smell, the sounds, where I was going to stand, what was going to be in front of me, what was going to be beside of me, what was going to be in the camera as I was talking to Doug and Brittany was part of my visualization, and then she up and quit in September. So it was Doug and Sydney that ended up calling, but it happened. Like, I went from having a team of no one and no points and no nothing to finishing in the top. We finished 82 in the whole network, and we hit elite. And we hit elite early. We had elite locked by August. And that moment was like, it was everything. And now we're pushing for the next. Like, so you have to, it doesn't have to be, it can be things that are not as crazy as like your children growing up without a father. Like, it can be something, it's just got to be something that fires you up, that is urgent, that has a deadline. Elite had a deadline. Like, there was a day they called to tell you hit elite. Things needed to happen. 5-star needed to happen. The 2 new diamonds needed to happen. You had to have the right points in the right categories, which means I had to be recruiting all freaking year. Like, all those things. It wasn't this, someday when I'm good at Beachbody, I will take my family to Disneyland. Like, there was a deadline. There were like dates that things had to happen. And so there was urgency. Okay. That's number one. You got to have a vision with some serious urgency. And then I got really consistent. We'll make that number 2. I got really, really consistent. I am one of Josh Coates' biggest disciples in the whole world. Do you guys know who Josh is? Or do I need to explain Josh? You guys know who Josh is. Okay, perfect. So Micah works really well with Josh. I had done a couple groups with Josh and was like, you're not teaching me anything I don't already know. Like, I don't need to do this. I don't need to pay you money. And I'm not making any more money. I'm not hitting higher success club numbers. Like, nothing is happening. And so I remember I did his group like a couple years ago, and nothing magic happened that month. So I quit. And then next month I hit like Success Club 18, which was like insane for me. Remember, I hit Success Club 6 on the last day of the month because I'm calling family. And the month after Josh, I hit Success Club 18. So I was like, no, that was just a coincidence. Like, no, it's not. And then I signed back up for him after Summit because I saw him speak at Summit. And Summit 2017. Yes, 2017. And I was super pregnant. And I knew that you had to do 85% of your activities to get your cash back. And so I stopped doing his group the month I knew I was going to give birth, because I knew I was going to be in the hospital for a couple days and I was probably not going to get my activities done. And why try the rest of the month? Because I won't get a split of the pot, like whatever. My logic was super stupid, whatever. So, but I knew like, okay, I kind of like Josh. This is kind of working. And then he came to Micah's retreat. And I'll talk about what he talked about in number 3. But where I want to go with this is I came home from that retreat and I was like, I'm committing to Josh for a year. I am going to do Josh's groups for a year without stopping. I'm not going to miss a single month. I'm going to earn the cash back every single month because I'm doing 85% of my activities. I'm not going to go to bed until I'm done with my connections, my invites, my follow-ups, and I've done my posting. I am not going to go to bed. And if you are not familiar with Josh's system, I will tell you, because it's not a secret, and he talks about it in his YouTube, so I'm not telling you anything you're not supposed to. 20 connections. 20. Not crazy. And if you look at the success systems tracker, it says initiate connections and add followers for 20 minutes. That's basically the same thing. I've timed it. You can do 20 connections in 20 minutes. Okay? And then you do 10 invites. And this says, it used to say 10, now it says at least 5. So it's very similar to the success systems one. And then on Fridays, you do 40 follow-ups. I don't like doing 40 follow-ups on Friday because then my inbox is full all weekend and it drives me nuts because then I feel like I can't unplug with my family because my inbox is too full. So I spread out my invites during the week. But I make sure over the course of a week, I have done 40. And I think in Josh's groups right now, it doesn't have that anymore. So I think he changed it. But at the time, it was 40 follow-ups on Friday. And on the success systems, you're supposed to spend 15 minutes doing follow-ups. If you do 15 minutes every day, 5 days a week doing follow-ups, that will add up to 40 in a week, I promise. So I came home and I told myself, like, I don't know why I was so convinced it was going to work, but I came home and was like, this is going to work. This is going to work. I'm going to do 20 connections. I'm going to do 10 invites. I'm going to post following Josh's schedule, which was very intentional. Every other day, so you're supposed to post, say that 10 times fast, twice a day, where each day, one of them is about Beachbody, one of them is about your normal family life, And on the Beachbody posts, they go back and forth between accountability, like fitness side, next day is about the business. Next day is accountability, fitness side, next day is business. And they go in this like path or like this pattern. That's what I'm looking for. And then you do a call to action based off what you're marketing for on your marketing calendar. So I came home and told myself, like, this is going to work. I have a brand new baby. Like literally at that point when I came home from the retreat, she wasn't even here yet. But I was like, I'm going to do this. Like I can do 20 connections and 10 invites while she's napping, even with a brand new baby. I can do that. I can do 20 connections. I can do 10 invites. I can do my follow-ups on Fridays with people who would like slip between the cracks, which means I have to actually start tracking my people. And I can post. I'm about to be on my postpartum journey. Like I can post about how I did my workout, and then the next day I can post something I love about coaching, about how I love that I can do it in the mom crack so I'm holding my baby. And the next day I can post a healthy recipe. And the next day I can post a rank advancement because that'll be a Thursday. And the next day I can put whatever. I planned it out, what I was going to post. And it worked. That is still all I do. I feel like there's a lot of hype right now in some teams to go like psycho with invites. And I'm not saying that doesn't work, because clearly it does. Because a lot of the coaches who are talking about how they do more than 50 pull Success Club numbers in the hundreds. So it works. I absolutely detest invites. Doing 10 a day is a stretch for me. So I do 10, but I do not go to bed till I plant 10 new seeds. It is not I'm re-inviting. It's the same person I talked to yesterday and I'm still taught. Like that is a follow-up. That is not an invite. An invite is I'm planting the seed with someone I have never, ever talked to before. 10 a day, which adds up to 2,500 a year. If you are doing if you're putting 2,500 seeds in the ground, you're gonna at least hit Success Club. Like you're gonna find people to say yes, especially if the posts you're doing match what's happening on the back end. Because I was posting consistently about my journey, about the fact that this is a business, about my results, all those things. So I came home and was like, this is gonna work. I'm gonna commit to Josh's system for a year, and it freaking works. I train my team on Josh's system. When we look at the Success System one, I always tweak it. And I'm like, I know it says this, do this. Like I train my team to do Josh. And as I started hitting, Moira talked about this in the call that she just did for Micah the other day, but it's so true. Everything in this business is a numbers game. When I started hitting higher Success Club numbers, I started getting people who were actually getting results, who were actually showing up in my accountability group. And when I actually started getting people in my accountability group who were actually showing up and actually getting results, I actually had people say yes when I invited them to the business, who wanted to learn more information. And not only did they want to learn more information, they wanted to join my team. And not only did they want to join my team, they wanted to go Emerald, and they wanted to hit Success Club, and they wanted to bring other people into the accountability group. Holy crap, I have a team. Like, that's all I did. That is all I did to build my team. I crush Success Club. I get people in my group. I make sure they're getting results, and then I invite them to the business because they're already in my group. They're already crushing it. They're already loving it. Do you want to learn more about what I do as a coach? Because you're totally doing it. And that's where my builders come from. So that's like a gigantic number 2. But number 3, and the whole point of what I was going to talk about in this call is affirmations. And I'm going to say this like as fast as I can because I want to give you guys time for questions and stuff. So Josh at the retreat. So now you're like, what the freak happened at this retreat? So Josh, the first night, we sat around like the living room of this like $1 million house Micah rented. And Josh asked everybody 3 questions. Number 1, if you were to describe your life 5 years from now, tell me what it looks like. Like your perfect life, not like the direction you're going right now, like your perfect life. And P.S. that activity is in the front of this Rise Up journal. And it is the exact same thing that Josh tells you to do. Like the questions, the prompts, everything that she has is in it's the exact same thing. So if you're like, oh, that would be helpful, buy this. It's on Amazon. So everybody had a second to think about it. And I was that annoying person that was like, well, I like my house because I don't need more. And I like my cars and I like my everything. But I guess it probably would be kind of nice to sleep next to my husband instead of a loaded gun. And it would be kind of cool if he could work wherever he wanted, not necessarily the place that had the best health insurance. That's kind of a crappy reason to pick a job. And so that was like my only thing that I came out with my vision that I would be different. Everything else would be the same. House, cars, not a lot of money in the bank account. Like none of that was whatever. I just wanted him home. Like I wanted him to not work there. I wanted Beachbody to make it so he could work wherever he wanted, not there. Okay, that was question number 1 that he asked us. Question number 2, and this was when my life friggin' changed. Why can't you get there? If you know that you can accomplish everything you just listed, because Micah has accomplished it, because Jaylyn has accomplished it. Melissa Brewer is a 3-time elite. She is a 12-star, 13-star. Pretty sure she's going to hit Million Club this year. She's in our team. She was at the retreat. You know, there are lots of successful coaches in Micah's team. So he's like naming all these people in the room. If all of them can have success, if all of them have figured out Beachbody, if all of them are capable of hitting their vision, why can't you? And I didn't say this. As we were doing the prompts, we had to say everything out loud. So everybody had to go around the room like one at a time and talk about their vision. So he says like, and when we get to this, like, why can't you do it? He was like, you only get to say one because we're going to be here like all night. There was like 20 of us and it had already at this point, we'd be talking for like 2 hours. So he was like, this is going to take all night. You only get to say one, like why you can't do this. And I was like, I don't even know what I'm going to say because I have like 100 reasons in my head why I can't do this. I don't have a big enough following. I'm not pretty enough because to be successful at this business, you have to look like Lindsay Matway. And I'm not skinny enough. I'm like, not only am I like 9 months pregnant, I gained a lot in my pregnancy and I started my pregnancy not at my healthiest place. I had so far to go on my journey. Like I'm not skinny enough and I'm not good enough with my time and I'm not smart enough and I'm not a good enough leader and people don't like me and people don't choose me and I can't be good at this business and be a good mom and all the reasons. And the first girl, thankfully I was like in the middle of the room. The first girl goes and she's like, well, I can't do it because I'm not a good enough leader. And I was like, oh, that was one of the things I thought. I'm going to pay attention to everything he says because that was something I thought too. And so he was like, okay, well, tell me what a good leader is. And she was like, well, they set the example and they show you what's possible, but they have to be like so far ahead of you so that it's motivating. And I'm just not far enough ahead of my people because I can't get my people to do anything. And I can't make my people hit Success Club. I can't make my people show up for team calls. And it's so frustrating because I feel like if I was a good leader, my people would get on team calls and my people would hit Success Club and And Josh is like, Kate, tell me about your posts when you like advertise that you're looking for builders. And she's like, well, I'll like inspire them, or I'll empower them and we have resources and we'll get to do this together and I'll train you. And I think I already said this, there's resources and part of Micah's team, we have a new coach university. So you'll be sitting at the feet of a millionaire, learning how to be successful at this. And with intentionality, this can easily fit into an hour of your day. And, with the compound effect and being intentional, you can build a pretty significant income relatively quickly. And And Josh is like, okay, nowhere in there did I hear you say, okay, so I'm going to sign you up and I'm going to come over to your house and I'm going to babysit your kids so that you can do your power hour and watch the trainings totally uninterrupted. And I'm going to sit behind you with my hands on your hands and together we're going to type out your invites because I know they're scary. So I'm going to sit right with you and I'm going to hold your hand while we do your invites. You never said that. Everything you said is true. Everything you said is true. And therefore, you are a good leader. A leader is simply someone who paves the way to show them what's possible. That is what a leader is. A leader doesn't make anyone do anything. And it was like mind-blowing to me that I was like, oh my gosh, he's right. I don't post saying that I'm going to like come over and do the work for them. I don't tell people I'm going to hit Success Club for them, that I'm going to find their coaches to make them Emerald for them. I just tell them I'm going to show them the resources, but it's up to them to do the work. Like, I am a good leader, because a leader's job is to inspire and empower and provide resources. I do that. I am a good leader. So after Josh, so you tell Josh your thing, and then he walks you through it so that you can see like that is totally not logical. That doesn't even make sense. And then he would give you an affirmation. So one of the affirmations he gave her was, let me see if I still have all of them pulled up on my computer. I am an amazing leader because I equip and empower my team to soar. My actions show my team what is possible, and those actions make me an incredible leader. And I was like, I can come home and say that every day. I can come home and tell myself that every day. Because, and the thing that happens, magical thing about affirmations, is that sentence that says, yes, I will type that, or I will copy and paste it. The magical thing about affirmations is, especially some of these ones, and this is a longer one that has a quote from Bonnie Engel thrown in the middle. Hi. What? Okay, sounds good. Love you. You'll be good, okay? Okay, see you in a minute.
I kind of want you.
Okay, sounds great. Love you. Okay, so sorry. So the amazing thing about affirmations, that last sentence, my actions show my team what is possible, and those actions make me an incredible leader. That sentence does something to your brain, that your brain starts to search. That turns on the Google search in your head going, actions, what actions? What actions are showing that I'm an incredible leader? And then you choose the story. You choose what proof you give your brain. So then I would tell myself, okay, actions. I'm going to show I work out every day. I'm going to do my workout no matter what. I'm going to check into the accountability group every day. I'm never going to miss a national wake-up call. I'm not going to go to bed till I do my connections, invites, follow-ups. I'm going to make sure that I am hitting Success Club early in the month, or that I'm doing everything in my power to hit it early in the month. I'm going to consistently show up. And those actions will show my team I'm an incredible leader. And guess what? It freaking worked, okay? So that was the first girl. So I'm like, holy crap, that was, yeah. So then the next girl goes, and she's like, well, I can't hit my goals because everybody I sign up quits. I get like a coach cancellation like every other week. And I can't ever hit diamond because I can't get people to stay signed up. And some of these people want to build a business, and they never even like look at the team page, let alone go Emerald, and they quit. Like, and that goes back to being a bad leader. And I listened to all the things you said, but like, I have people quit. And so Micah was like, dude, I'm taking over this one. Do you have any idea how many coach cancellations I get a day? Nothing is wrong with you that you get coach cancellations. We all get them. The difference is I get 20 times more than you do because I'm signing 20 times more coaches. But we all get coach cancellations. It's not a sign that you're doing something wrong because you have people in your life who don't love this as much as you do. That is not a negative reflection on you. And your job is to keep going to find the people who do want this. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I just had like 3 coach cancellations come yesterday, and I don't even know how I'm going to hold my 2-star, but that was amazing. I needed to hear that because I have people quit on me too. Like, oh my gosh, maybe nothing's wrong with me. Maybe it's not it's not just me. Coaches quit on everybody. And they kept going around the room, and every single limiting belief I had that I thought of, Josh addressed. And every time I would act in my head, probably if someone had heard me would have thought I was crazy, but I was like, I mean, everybody was doing it, but I was really acting like he was talking to me so that I could like work through my ish and get to the source, get to the point that I could see like that doesn't even make sense, that you think that you building a business makes you a bad mom. That was my one that I was like, that I said out loud, that I was like, I need some help with this, because like, I'm a bad mom if I build my business. And he was like, okay, well, tell me about your current whatever. And so, talk about Jake and, our child growing up, seeing her dad through FaceTime. And he said, okay, now I want you to tell me what would happen if you worked the business and you were able to bring Jake home. Tell me what your life would look like then. Or tell me all the bad things that would happen. Well, I mean, I might have nights that I have to do like calls that he would have to put the kids to bed, because I would be like trying to help my team, like the last day of the month, trying to help people hit Success Club. And he's like, but wouldn't that mean you have a team that actually wants to hit Success Club, which means you're making money? And he would be home to help. Do you think he could help like 1 or 2 nights a month as opposed to living in another state? Do you really think that would be that bad? Well, no. Okay, well, what else? Keep going. So I'm like, okay, well, what if it hurts our marriage? And he was like, how is it going to hurt your marriage? Well, I don't know. What if I don't know. And he was like, see, exactly. You don't even know logically why you think this is going to hurt your marriage. I will tell you, this business is about becoming better, about you becoming, when you're doing it correctly, it is about becoming your best self in every area, because personal development is one of our vitals. That is what keeps there's a quote that I originally heard from Stephen R. Covey. I don't know who really said it, but that the definition of success, that's not even how it says, something about a ladder. And it doesn't matter how tall the ladder is that you climb. If you get to the top of that ladder and realize your ladder is leaning against the wrong building, it is not success. It doesn't matter how tall the ladder is if it's against the wrong building. And where was I even going? That, I promise that tied in somehow. But that, like, everything with me believing that this was going to ruin my marriage with Jake. Oh, the personal development and this business is about becoming your best self. And you get to decide what success looks like for you. You get to decide what building you want your ladder to lean against. And you do your personal development to weld your ladder to the wall. And so I knew for me, if it was really important to me to crush this business and to bring my husband home without help, I'm totally fine having a house cleaner. I have an assistant. I have someone else do my grocery shopping for me. I delegate all that crap, but I did not want a nanny. I wanted to raise my kids, and I wanted to do this in the cracks of my day, in the morning, at night, when my kids are napping. Like, I wanted to do it in the cracks of my day. If that's what I want, then I got to get intentional. I need to learn to be intentional. I need to learn to be disciplined. So that's what my personal development was. And anyway, I feel like going back to Josh and everything we talked about, that's basically what he told me is, you get to, and Micah said the same thing, that she's like, I built this business. I have a nanny. Like Micah was like, I have a nanny now, but I didn't when I hit top 10. I didn't when I hit Million Club. And she was like, and I only have one now because I'm pregnant with number 4. I didn't have one when I only had 2 kids. Like, you can do this without a nanny. You can still be the kind of mom you want to be. And you get to decide how much you work your business every day. That's the beauty of being an entrepreneur. You don't have to clock in for a certain amount of time. You get to decide how long you want to work in the morning and at night. And when your kids, you get to decide. And Josh always says that your family should not have to sacrifice jack squat for you to grow this business. You make sacrifices, not your family. So I don't know what's going on I don't even know if This Is Us is on anymore, but for a while that was like a hot thing that I felt left out on, because I have no freaking clue what's going on that show. And my best friend likes to tease me all the time because she watches like 1,000 TV shows and I haven't even heard of them, let alone seen them. I don't watch anything except I watch Netflix at night with my husband once I'm done working, and I usually fall asleep really fast, and I watch 1 or 2 football games a weekend when it's football season, and it's on like Saturdays when I'm done working for the day anyway. Like, that's the only TV I watch, because that's something I could sacrifice. It's not that, sorry kids, like, we're never going to play ever again because mom needs dead set. No, when my kids are napping or my kids are entertained, I'm replying to messages, or I'm doing a post, or I'm talking about a product in my stories, or I'm whatever. When they're napping in the morning, I am finding ways to squeeze every single minute I can when my kids don't need me. And there's, I don't even know how many personal development books I've referenced, but there's John Acuff talks about how you can be selfish at 5 a.m. Nobody needs you at 5 a.m. You can be selfish at 5 a.m. So I was not a morning person, detested mornings. Clearly, I talked about how I didn't wake up till noon my whole pregnancy. And I don't remember the last time I slept in. My body doesn't know how to do it anymore. If I forget to turn off my alarm, I will wake up no later than 6, because my body doesn't know how to keep going after that, because it's so used to waking up, because I wake up and get crap done before my kids wake up, because that is time I can be selfish. That is time that my business can move forward without my kids or my husband or anyone else having to sacrifice anything, because I can be selfish at 5 a.m. So anyway, Josh kept going, and it was amazing. And figuring out all my limiting beliefs was life-changing. That is what was one of the most pivotal things at that retreat that I came away with, was that I had no idea how mean my mean girl was. I was so mean to me. I told myself all the time, all the reasons why I suck at this and I'm not good at this, and just all the negativity. And I came home from that retreat with a list of affirmations that I read once a day, but I said them so often that my brain started saying them subconsciously, like all the time. And when I would get, I just would randomly think of them all the time. So I always had them going through my head. I was always doing personal development, and that was on, like, that was the background noise of my house, was personal development. And because I wasn't watching Netflix. So when we were cooking or whatever, I didn't even have AirPods at the time. I just was listening to it on my phone, and it's not going to hurt my kids to listen to personal development. So, and it started changing the way my brain thinks, that my brain started like feeding that belief of like, yes, this is going to work. This is going to work. I can do this, because why not me? Like, I can do this. And the more that I fed that wolf and like told myself how much I believed in myself, it turned incredibly contagious. To the point that, like, if you'd asked me at any given point last year, I probably had a moment or two I thought we had a shot of ending in the top 10. Like, I was like convinced we could do whatever we want. And we were totally gunning for 15 star. We barely hit 5. But I was like, dude, we're going to hit superstar. Like, why is everybody saying this is hard? We're going to hit it like it's nothing. Like, because I was so like, dude, I can do whatever I want. And now that's the tricky part, is planting that belief in my coaches, because that's not something that your coach can do for you. Because trust me, Jalen tried like 1,000 times to plant it in me. I had to decide I wanted that seed to be planted. I wanted to water it. I wanted to give it sunshine. I wanted it to grow. I wanted to believe in myself. I wanted to look for proof. Limiting beliefs are, it's just a story. That's all it is. It is a story. And you are looking for proof that this business won't work for you, or that it will. That is what you're doing. It is A or it is B. And I decided, rather than looking for all the reasons why this business is not for me and I'm wrong for this, I was going to look for all the reasons why not me? Why, like, okay, well, they all did it. I can do it too. Like, they did that. I can do that too. Like, I can do that. And started telling myself all the reasons why I can do this. And that's what affirmations are, is telling yourself what to look for. Anyway, I talked so much longer than I wanted to. I wanted to stop talking like 10 minutes ago. So What questions do you guys have? Because I love questions, because that helps me know what you guys actually want to talk about and not what I want to talk in circles about.
We have a lot of moms on our team, and I know a lot of times they want to know, like, how long do you work each day?
Okay, so I'm totally going to be honest about this. I've totally turned into a workaholic. I was not a workaholic before the retreat. I did a power hour like 4 times a month. So no duh, I never hit Success Club. And now that I know that it works, it's very hard for my brain to stop, because I can see like it turning into money. And so my brain, and 5-second rule is great, because she talks about the 5-second rule works for stopping working too, not just starting, that you have to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, walk away. So that being said, I wake up at 5:30, and from 5:30 to 7 is when I do, I make myself unload my dishwasher before I can have my Energize, or I would never unload my dishwasher. And I do prayers and say my affirmations. And now that I have this, well, I did it before anyway, I just do it out of this. I review my vision so that I know what I'm visualizing and what I'm pushing for. And I do a teeny bit of personal development, but I have to be careful because I'll get sucked into it and then my Energize will fade. But I do a little bit of personal development. I go do my workout. And then while I'm drinking my Recover, I post in my stories and check into my accountability group, and then come upstairs and usually try to get in. It depends on if my youngest is, or my oldest is awake, because she's 5 and she's in that super don't stop talking phase. From like the minute she wakes up, she just wants to talk. And I cannot focus on my inbox if she's talking. So if she's not awake yet, I will start doing activity stuff, and I just work my way down this. So I like, okay, I know I did my workout already. I don't want my shake yet because I just had my Recover. I'm going to go do my connections. So I'll go do 20 connections. Okay, she's still asleep. Okay, do I want to post right now, or am I not wanting to post a sweaty selfie today and I want to share my dinner recipe? Okay, I don't need to post yet because my other post is going to be about the new shirt I got on Amazon, so I got to get ready before I post. So I'm not going to post yet. Okay, I've done all the stories I want to do for right now. I don't need to do any more stories. Okay, respond to all new likes, comments, and views. Okay, I'm going to go clean out my inbox, and then I'm going to check all my notifications on Facebook. And then once I've got Facebook done, then I'm going to move to Instagram. And I just work my way down the list. And I do wish for my brain that invites and follow-ups were above respond to all new likes, comments, whatever, because my inbox is a time-sucking vortex. And I could spend my whole life in my inbox and never come up for air, because as soon as I reply to a message, it comes right back in. There's always a message waiting for me in my inbox. So anyway, I do what I can until my 5-year-old wakes up, and then do mom life, whatever. If I have a call, I'll do calls in the morning. Like if I have my corporate call, or like the national wake up call, or whatever. But I usually do it with like AirPods in while I'm doing other mom stuff. And then I don't really do anything till my baby, she's now 19 months old, till she goes down for a nap. I'll get my 5-year-old set up watching a movie on my bed usually, because she likes to be on the same floor as me. So if I'm in my office, she'll go lay on my bed and watch a movie. And then I'll go for probably 2.5 hours. And that is my like solid hustle time. Because sometimes in the morning, I don't get time to do any business activities. It's just affirmations, personal development, workout, recover, posting my stories. Oh, look, she's awake. I don't get to do anything else. So sometimes everything else has to happen in that 2-3 hour window. And I make it fit, because my husband is still really adamant that when he comes in the door from work at 5:30, like phone is down, time to be done. And it's time to be present as a family. And my phone is in another room. Well, we have dinner and we watch TV as a family, and then we put the kids to bed, and then my husband and I spend time together, and my phone's in the bathroom. Like, I am not on calls ever at night. Like, Melissa had to ask me to do this call like 3 months ago, because I only guest speak on calls once a month, because it's like we don't do stuff at night. That's family time. So I have to get everything done in nap time. That was a very long answer. So I do, like I said, I do have an assistant because it got to the point that I cannot do it all. And so I chose, what do I not want to do? Or what is something that I'm okay delegating? What is something that I could teach someone to do? Because like I said, I wanted to be mom still. I wanted to be the one to go to the park and have play dates. I wanted to be the one, I wanted to be that person, and I just wanted to work during naps because that's who I want to find. I want to find moms who want to better themselves and build a business in the cracks of their life, not necessarily moms who, in order to be successful, have to hire a nanny. Because that would, if I had known from the beginning, like, because Jaylyn had a nanny for a little bit. If she had had one when I signed up, I can guarantee you I wouldn't have signed up with her, because that was such a limiting belief for me. And so, and I'm still working through it. It's still hard for me to leave my kids, like for Summit or Success Club trips. I struggle bad leaving my kids, even though my husband loves it. He loves that it's time just the two of us. I'm going off on all the randomest tangents, but I hired an assistant. So my assistant helps me with, my assistant does my invites and my connections for me now. And I just do my connections with my coaches and customers. So she is kind of building the relationship until they purchase. And then once they purchase, I take over. And I'm the one that continues building the relationship. I'm the one interacting in my challenge group. She makes my leaderboards. And then, like I said, I have a house cleaner that comes every other week. And I order all my groceries online, so I don't have to take the time to go to the grocery store. So I can go pick up my groceries while I'm doing like a call or whatever. And I'm not like trying to walk around the store or fight my two kids. So I delegate everything I can, with the exception of mom life stuff. And I'm so excited. It hadn't occurred to me. In like 4 months, my oldest is going to preschool or to kindergarten. She's only in preschool right now, 3 days a week. And she's about to go to kindergarten. I'm about to have like 2.5 hours every single day to myself, because we're putting her in afternoon kindergarten, and it will be right when my baby naps. So I'm going to have like that solid hustle time with 0 children needing me. And I'm like, oh, it's going to be great. Anyway, that was the longest answer ever. What other questions do you guys have?
What kind of tracking or like follow-up system do you use? You just use pen and paper, or do you use a program?
I use a program. I am a huge fan of Teamsy, but I set it up a little different than how they tell you to. I didn't plug it, and I got it from Rachel Baldwin. She doesn't use it anymore. She uses Streak now. But Rachel Baldwin just plugged in her sponsorship drill down. So when you sign up for Teamsy, it wants you to like import your like Facebook list and your Instagram and all this crap. I just imported my sponsorship drill down. And it wasn't even my sponsorship drill down. It was my PS sponsorship drill down, so that my coaches were in there. And then if someone messages me and they want information, then I plug them in Teamsy. But if I'm sending an invite to someone who watches my stories, I don't add them to Teamsy until they message back saying like, yes, I do want information. Then I plug them into Teamsy. And same thing with like when I'm doing connections. If I have someone that I want to build a relationship with but hasn't asked for information, they don't go in Teamsy. Teamsy is it is like my pipeline of people that have at one point or another done something that insinuated they wanted information. And then if I get, like we get through conversation and I realize they're already working with a coach, or they are a coach, which that happens way more than people think, then I'd like delete them out. I used to keep them in and just deleted the follow-up, and I started accidentally re-inviting people that already had a coach. So I just get people out if I know they have a coach. If someone like flat out says no, then I get them out. If I follow up multiple months in a row and they ghost me for 6-7 months with like 0 reply, I get them out because clearly they're not interested. But other than that, Teamsy is like where and then the thing I love about Teamsy that I don't love about pen and paper is if you have a pen and paper and someone is like, I want to, but I get paid on the 19th. Can you message me then? the paper is not going to remind you on the 19th that this name turned back to this page and this name needed to be followed up with today, where Teamsy will do that. You can tell Teamsy, remind me to talk to Susie Q on the 19th because that's the day she gets paid. And so you can plug it all into the activity details, and it is the greatest thing ever. I love, and heard a lot of coaches say that they don't like Teamsy because you have to do everything one-on-one, where with Streak, you can do things like send like mass emails, which that is true. But I've also had a lot of people tell me that they really like that they can tell I message them one-on-one, because you can't mass blitz in Instagram and Facebook. You have to send one-on-one messages. And so I've had a lot of people tell me they like that they can tell it's still me and that I'm not just trying to talk to 100 people at the same time. So it takes a little bit more time, but it's, yeah, Teamsy is my best friend. I love Teamsy a lot.
All right. Well, I don't want to take more of your time since it's 7:30, but I have notes galore. I'm sure other people do. If you think of any questions, I'm sure we can put something together and send one question to Ashley. But thank you so much for joining us.
Of course. Such an honor.
Thank you so much.
And have a great night.